Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, howdy, and hello. Today I'm going to be talking about, basically becoming a better version of yourself, like how certain things in life, certain experiences, surroundings, places, people, the way it all affects how you progress as a person, the way you evolve. For example, I was raised in San Antonio, Texas. I lived there for 16 years. I moved away right before I turned 22. And I've been living in Portland, Oregon for the last 12 years. And to say that it is a completely different place is a very big understatement. The people, the environment, the weather, of course, the weather. It was one of the biggest things that drew me here is because I don't know what you know about Texas, but it's hot. It's hot, it's humid, it's miserable. Summers, like, unless you have a body of water nearby, you're going to be miserable. And yeah, the idea of less than 3-digit temperatures really really attracted me. But anyway, like when I think about the kind of person that I was before I left Texas compared to who I am now, like it's like, if obviously there are still some aspects of myself that are the same, but also not. I mean, obviously everybody changes in some ways with age and experiences, but sometimes getting to a new place can really get you to have a new perspective on life and what matters to you and who you want around. When I left Texas, I was in a really rocky place with a lot of my friendships, people that I had known since we were still in school. I was with a person that I knew deep down I wasn't happy with, but we had already started a family. And, the idea of trying to go on my own and be a single mom and start over was so daunting for me that I thought it would be better to stick around in a situation that I was deeply unhappy in and try to make it work rather than actually believing in myself and doing what I wanted to do. At that time, the people that we were around, I apologize for the background noise. Our landscaping people are out doing things. I wish I could go tell them not to, but they're not going to listen to me because I'm not paying them. But anyway, but yeah, during that time, the people that we were around, the normal thing was, people were starting families regardless of marital status. People were becoming parents at very young ages, like between the ages of 18 and 21. And, women were making it like a goal to be a stay-at-home mom by the time they hit 25. And like, I don't know where that trend came from or how it started, but I got on it. I became a mom at 19. People we were hanging around with, my ex-husband's friends, family, pretty much the same thing for them. And like, they're all trying to like counsel me and give me advice on how I should be living my life. And I didn't have the wherewithal the time to look at them and be like, why are you trying to get me to live your life when you're clearly not happy with the way things are? And like, that was just the norm. You gave up what you wanted to do, any hope of a career or anything for yourself, just so you could stay at home and drink wine and have a bunch of shitty mom friends and wait for somebody to come home that you're not really into. Because that's the thing, is when you get into a relationship right out of high school at a young age, it's very rare that you're going to continue to be attracted to them as you get older. And that was something that I learned very quickly, but not quick enough with my ex. But it is what it is. It happened, and here we are. But, you know, and then we moved here in 2011 when our son was 2, our oldest son, I should say. We ended up having another one in 2015. But, you know, the friends I made up here and the people that I met, and just seeing the differences. Like, obviously, having families is still a thing, but it was a lot more common for, you know, dads to stay home, or for both parents to be working, or, you know, seeing relationships with people that were supportive of one another, and not like somebody has to give up their whole life for the other person. And like up here, like people value personal happiness over sacrifice, I would say. Like, obviously, yes, you should sacrifice in certain situations, but not everything, you know. And that was something that was constantly running into with my ex in our earlier years with each other, is I was constantly sacrificing things that I wanted to make him happy. I was constantly putting myself in situations with people that I didn't really want to be around, because I felt like they were having a negative impact on me and the way that I viewed life, and it just went against everything of who I was. And I think that was part of the issue that I was facing, is that I was hanging around with these people that were trying to, you know, groom me into this version of myself that my ex wanted, and his family wanted, and his friends wanted. And I was getting further and further away from my friends. And so every time my friends and I did get together, like it felt like a whole different world of people. I mean, I don't know, maybe it was just the way my ex-husband was raised compared to the way I was raised, or the people that I hung around with compared to who he hung around with. But, you know, I made new friends when I moved here, and it just brought me back to how I used to be and how I used to think and feel when I was younger. And that was that, you know, sky was the limit, and whatever I wanted to do, I could do, as long as I put my mind to it and worked for it. And that if the person I'm with really loves me and supports me, then they'll support me in whatever I want to do. And that was just a constant brick wall my ex and I were always running into. And now, many years later, I'm remarried. I just had my third baby, first baby with my new husband, and it's a completely different situation. Like, I'm just constantly, I was deprived of my creative side for so long that it's like I have so many things I want to do, and I don't know which one to focus on because there's just so many things. And, you know, I get distracted easily. I'll start working on one project and then think of something new, and then just start working on that and completely forget about the other thing I just started. And like, get this YouTube channel, for example. I'll make a video, say I'm going to do one weekly, but then 3 weeks to a month later, or even longer, I make another one because I get caught up in other things that I want to create. So, I think I'm a lot more, like, don't get me wrong, there are things in life that are stressing me out still, like the normal things, just like the economy. I think that one is just stressing everybody out. But as far as other things, like my marriage and friendships and just everyday life, I'm not as stressed out about it as I used to be. I'm a lot more laid back. Like I said, living in a different city, different state, different part of the country, definitely had a big thing to do with that. And, some people just, they thrive in certain environments and other people just don't. I've had my bouts of seasonal depression living here. Obviously, it rains a lot in the Pacific Northwest. And when you're dealing with the rain for a long period of time, it can be draining on one's soul. But then sometimes I love the rain. Like lately, we've been having some rain and the weather's been getting cooler. But I think that's just because I'm tired of summer and the hot weather, and I'm ready to get into fall. And yeah, anyway, I guess I'm tired. I'm sorry if I'm making these videos just all about me, but I'm just trying to use my personal experiences to just relate with other people. And because the fact of the matter is that, yeah, all of our situations are unique, but at the same time, we can relate to one another in a lot of ways. And there are just certain people that you vibe with, There are certain people that I follow who, I admire them for, being at a place in life that I am working towards being in. I admire them for being, soft-spoken and well-spoken and educated and at peace with with themselves. And there are other people that I follow because they've been in situations very similar to mine, or they're still going through it, or, just. So I guess I just kind of want to be a beacon for people of all spots. But, I know there are a lot of people out there, men and women alike, or, children of narcissistic parents who are just trying to find their way. And when they're in an environment where they're constantly being told that they're not good enough, or they're not smart enough, or they're not talented enough, and that they're not meant for anything great, and they're just there to be someone's punching bag, essentially. Maybe, not in those words, but that's how it feels. And when you're constantly living like that, you feel like a prisoner in your own life. And to know that there are other people out there who have been what you're going through and got out of it and found happiness, it's very inspiring. And it took a long time for me to work through a lot of that victim mentality. I think I still struggle with it from time to time, but nowhere near like I was, 4 or 5 years ago. It was bad, because a lot of us who have been in those abusive situations, we tend to convince ourselves that we're not being abused and that this is normal. And then you get around other people and you realize that it's not normal. And you stop making excuses. The day you stop making excuses is the day that you finally decide to do something about it. I know that's what did it for me. I would defend my ex-husband up and down all over the place, even when I knew that everybody else was right. I just didn't want to admit to myself that I was wrong. I think that's the biggest thing, is you don't want to admit that you were wrong about something or someone. So you stick with it as long as you can, just to prove that you did the right thing, when in fact you made the biggest mistake of your life. And that's okay. You know, sometimes you got to go through really bad situations to find the best part of yourself and get to the happiest point of your life. You know, some people don't have to go through those experiences, and I envy the hell out of them, but a lot of us do, unfortunately. And it's how you fall. It's okay. No, it's not how you fall. It's how you get back up. That's the motto that I. Sorry for that. My light turned off, so I had to get that situated. But I'm almost done. I promise. You know, I go into these videos with an idea, and then by the time I'm done, it completely turns into something else. I really got to start writing these things out more so I have a reference. But anyway, I mean, this is pretty much the basis of what I was getting at, is that, like I said, it's not about how you fall, it's about how you get up. You know, we all go through different experiences in life, but one thing we all have in common is we all have the ability to do the best with what we have. Some people have to work a little harder than others, unfortunately, but for those people who make it, it's all that much more worth it. And I think you appreciate it a little bit more the harder you fight for something. And if you are in a situation where you feel like you're stuck, trapped, fearful, you know, start doing what you can to make an exit. Reach out to people, family, friends, shelters, resources. They're all out there. There is help. You gotta look for it. And just stay safe and take the best care of yourself that you can. Be there for yourself. Remind yourself that you are worth it. You deserve to be happy. You don't deserve to live in misery. Nobody deserves to live in misery. No good person, anyway. But I think I'm going to go ahead and leave y'all with that before I, jab my jaws anymore. So, thank you for stopping by, and I will hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.